Hey, all movie fans out there, welcome back to another episode of Total Running Time. My name is Matt Jarbo, and we're going to be continuing our Hatred of Twilight series, or, well, my Hatred of Twilight series this week with our episode all about New Moon, or as it's called now, The Twilight Saga, New Moon. And it's, again, an exercise in patience and how and how much we can actually take. So this came out, the following year. This came out November 16th, 2009. This time it was not directed by Kristen Hardwicke. It was directed by Chris Weitz, who co-directed, ironically enough, Vampire Assistant, and this one came out at the same time. And this one was directed by Chris Weitz, and the other one was directed by Peter Weitz, who they both directed American Pie 1 and 2, I think, together. So how they went often also. But Chris Weitz also directed Golden Compass, which is the movie that single-handedly brought down New Line. So ha 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 ha. So Twilight came out then. This one, had a budget of $50 million, and it grossed $709 million worldwide. And it's, again, based on a novel by Stephanie Meyer, who is just, horrible. And it's written by Melissa Rosenberg, again, can't polish a turd. It stars Kristen Stewart, Robert Pattinson, Taylor Lautner, Ashley Greene, Rachel Lefevre, Billy Burke, Michael Sheen, and Dakota Fanning. So I saw this. I had to suffer through a midnight showing of this at my work at the time when it came out. And like a lot of girls, because we decided to kind of play along with it at my theater. So we had done like a little checkboard. Oh, are you Team Jacob or Team Edward? Because that was a big thing at the time. And then we had written a third line, are you Team Blade? Which surprisingly got quite a number of hits on our midnight. So let's get into it, because I don't want to ramble, keep you guys on here for too long, but here we go. Okay, so on her 18th birthday, Bella Swan wakes up from a dream in which she sees herself as an old woman. She expresses her distaste for growing older than her boyfriend Edward Cullen, a vampire who stopped aging physically at age 17. Despite her lack of enthusiasm, Edward's adoptive family throws Bella a birthday party. While unwrapping a gift, Bella gets a paper cut, causing Edward's brother, Jasper, to become overwhelmed by her blood scent and attempts to kill her. Realizing the danger that he and his family pose to Bella, Edward ends their relationship and the Cullens leave Forks. Edward's departure leaves Bella heartbroken and depressed for months. However, when her father, Charlie, decides to send her to live with her mother in Florida, Bella agrees to spend some time with her friends. After seeing a movie with Jessica, Bella sees a group of men on motorcycles. This reminds her of when Edward previously rescued her from an assault. She sees this image as a warning for her to stay away. Bella discovers that thrill-seeking activities evoke Edward's preserved image, so she's also comforted by her deepening friendship with Jacob Black, a cheerful companion who eases her pain over losing Edward. When Jacob suddenly begins avoiding her, Bella discovers that he has become a werewolf, an age-old enemy of vampires. Jacob's pack members are on constant patrol for Victoria, a vampire searching to kill Bella due to the death of her mate by Edward's hands. Leaving Jacob little time to spend with her, alone again, Bella returns to the thrill-inducing activities. Through a series of miscommunication, Edward believes that Bella has killed herself by jumping off a cliff into the ocean. Distraught over her supposed suicide, Edward travels to Italy to provoke the Volturi, a powerful vampire coven capable of killing him, by exposing him as a vampire to humans. Alice, Edward's sister, and Bella rush to Italy to save Edward and arrive just in time to stop him. It is then that Edward tells Bella that he has always loved her and only left her to protect her. However, the Volturi determine that Bella, a human who knows vampires exist, must either be killed or transformed into a vampire herself. Alice stops them from killing her by sharing her premonition with Arrow, a Volturi elder who is able to read thoughts through touch, in which Bella has been transformed. Soon after, they return to Forks, and Bella forgives Edward for leaving her. The Cullens vote in favor for Bella being transformed into a vampire, much to Edward and Rosalie's dismay. Later on, Jacob reminds Edward of the treaty that the Cullens made with his tribe, that they will not attack each other as long as the Cullens do not bite any humans, and an action necessary for Bella's transformation. The movie concludes with Edward telling Bella that he will change her into a vampire, but only if she marries him first. So yeah, there's that. Again, really convoluted and kind of retarded plot. Well, let's go into it though. There's an entire scene after he leaves her, right? Well, let's say first off, Jasper, the guy who goes crazy, is like the worst actor in the whole fucking movie, and then that's pretty bad considering that Kristen Stewart's like Miss Stale McStaleton, you know, and he's just like, I'm gonna eat your brains, and he goes after her, and then Edward's like, nope, and hits him and knocks him into a fucking like shelf and shit, right? But the fact that she cuts herself on this paper cut, and it's like she hits like a fucking artery in her finger, and it's like blood like gushes out, you know, and he goes all nuts because apparently this girl, like I said, has very attractive smelling, you know, blood. I can only imagine, you know, just every 28 days the whole family must go fucking nuts for her. I'm just saying, it's like, it's retarded stuff. So like, you know, he leaves her, and then she goes into this like deep depression, and she just like, there's a shot, she sits there and like the camera just kind of pans around her, and like, you know, they obviously did, you know, green screen on the window, but it just shows like the seasons passing, and she's like, oh my god, I don't know what I'm gonna do. And then the whole time she's emailing Alice, you know, she's just sending off these emails, and they're not going anywhere, and the whole thing, and she's like, I just don't know what to do with my life anymore, blah, 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 blah. And it's just retarded, and, you know, like, Taylor Lautner, I think, did a pretty good job in the film. Like, he's not a bad actor. And, you know, he kind of had fun with it, but it's like, the whole thing with it was, though, is the entire movie is like, it's like this love triangle between Jacob and Edward and you know, Bella, and they just make it seem so, like, I know it's just like, you know, teenage romance, and it just loses it so much because it's so long. It's like 2 hours and 10 minutes long. It doesn't need to be that long, period. You know, I think like the only real saving grace for the film was like they got Dakota Fanning to be in it, so that's really about it. Like, you know, because they go to Italy, and it's just like, why the fuck would you go to Italy if you're a vampire? You know, I'm gonna go to Italy and I'm gonna do this. Well, can't you just like walk out in the sun and kill? Oh no, you can't, because you're not a vampire. You're like vampire light, you know. So it's shit like that that's retarded. It's this really like flimsy plot line, this horrible story, terrible characters, nothing really good happens. And you know, like when I watched it with my best friend at the theater I worked at, and we were just talking shit the whole time. And having fun with that, because that's, I think, the best part of this movie is just to get wasted with your friends and watch it. So yeah, I don't recommend this to anyone. So yeah, that's the episode. I can go off for a long time. I feel like I'm just rambling, so I'm just gonna kind of stop rambling as much. If you love Twilight, defend it. Tell me why it's good. Give me reasons other than just like, it's just a good book. No, I want reasons. I want knowledge. I want actual insight into why this series is any good. I'd also like to find a way to make some money off it, because frankly, it's like, I want to get a piece of that pie. And that's just has nothing to do with this podcast. I just wanted to throw that out there. Telling the universe, give me money. Anyway. You can get more information, daily news, reviews, great stuff on Two Buck Theater. You can find us as facebook.com/Two Buck Theater. You can also find us on YouTube, iTunes, Zune, all over the web. And check us out. You guys will get a kick. We'll be back on Monday with Eclipse. And then I think we're going to follow that up with Death to Smoochie after that. So some good films coming your way. Not next week, but the week after that. And I'm Matt Jarbo. Any questions, comments, concerns, thoughts, you want to call me an asshole, douchebag, whatever, or say I'm funny, you can email me directly at wimpproductions@gmail.com. That is WIMPproductions@gmail.com. And I'll see you guys on Monday. Goodbye. Monday. Goodbye.